Coming in at number 10 is Chris J from the German team Mousesports. Chris J has a knack for hitting ridiculously fast op shots, usually multiple times in the same round, and some of his A-holds on Dust 2 are truly godlike. And if this were a ranking about the best scouters, he would unquestionably be the best. What really held Chris J back was his inability to translate his game into a LAN environment, until a few months ago when he broke through at the Gfinity Summer Masters 1 tournament in London. This rise in form has helped Mousesports reach the top tier of teams, but Chris needs to play at this level for longer and be more consistent about it, as he was not up to par at the most recent major. Number 9 on the list is Alu from NIP, and some could say that he deserves a much higher placing on this list, but I think he's fine right where he is. Alu has immense talent and a very high skill ceiling, and his time in Mousesports really showed that. Since he was on a mediocre team in Mousesports, he would regularly play against lower tier teams and players and would destroy them, eventually giving him the opportunity to join NIP. He still does work against lesser teams, but he sometimes fades away when going up against teams and AWPers of his skill caliber. Yes, he played very well against Virtus.pro on train at this major, but that was about it. He has a very hard time in games against the likes of Simple, Device, and Guardian, which is why he's stuck in the number 9 position. At number 8 we have Neo. More known for his 1.6 days, Neo has recently taken over the opping role from Pasha in Virtus.pro and has had amazing results. He's not a flashy player by any means, but he will almost always give you a solid 15 to 20 kills a game, which is something VP lacked with Pasha's opping. He's able to confront and succeed against other top oppers in the game, but he just hasn't been doing it long enough to pass anybody else on the list. But watch out, he's on the rise. My number 7 opper is the 3-time major champion JW. JW is very hard to rate. He throws consistency out of the window with his aggressive, fast, re-peeking style that sometimes gives him terrible games. Some games he will get less than 10 kills and bomb out, and in others he will explode for 30. His stats are not always the best because from my point of view he's utilized more as an entry fragger, so he will go in and get a kill and then usually get traded. His opping value is really going down now, so he needs to revive his godlike form to stay at this spot. At number 6 is the Danish opper Device, one of my favorite players. One of the true superstars in the CSGO scene, Device finds a lot of his success away from opping, but is still the primary opper in Team Solo Mid. He's able to stand up to any opper in the world and get around 20 frags a game. He absolutely beasts against lower tier teams and had a 38 kill performance at IEM Gamescom a few weeks ago against CLG. He's found the clutch gene inside him that he once fatefully lacked and made it one of his strengths, which is the sign of an amazing player. His performance at the major was fantastic, and if TSM would have won the tournament, he definitely would have been my MVP. The problem with Device is that he just does not use the op enough to give people a fair judge on his talent level over a short range of time. At 5 is the op god Kenny S. His carrying ability in his Titan days were unmatched, and 30 frags eventually just didn't seem too impressive coming from him. He even had a 50 frag game against Fnatic of all teams. Kenny S at his peak was the top form of any player in CSGO history. He can hit any shot on the planet at a more consistent rate than any other. His performance dropped severely at the end of his Titan days as the burden just became too much for him to handle. His major performance was on point until the semifinals and finals where he had a historic 4-19 performance. I believe under his new in-game leader Happy, he can regain his top spot among oppers in time for DreamHack Winter. The best player in CSGO history, Olafmeister, comes in at number 4. It seems that whenever he picks up the op, which is only in certain situations, he cannot be stopped. He uses this talent to revive his playing whenever he is having a bad game. Olaf is a relatively passive opper and a comfort-oriented one as well, meaning he prefers to play certain spots on certain maps. His flaw in his opping is that he does not have the high skill ceiling that the next three do. Because he is not even the primary opper, for his own team, restricting how much impact he can actually have with the gun. Simple may be the most aggressive and most confident AWPer in the game. What he lacks for in composure, he makes up for in his untouchable skill, which in my opinion is the best out there. He can flick to a dime on any map, any side, against anyone and in any position. Not being on a competitive team anymore really hurts his ranking, and it is sad for the scene in general, as one of our best players cannot showcase his amazing talent. He needs to be able to keep a level head in game, so that he doesn't overextend plays, as he very often does. Number 3 on my list is Simple. The American superstar Skadoodle comes in at number 2. He is my pick for the most consistent AWP in CSGO. He never misses what we amateurs call an easy shot, and hits almost all of the hard ones too. He can play passive or aggressive. He is the key to any map win for his team Cloud9. The amount of times he destroys other top tier AWPers is boundless. He rarely gets into the high 20s for kills, but I also rarely catch a game where he does not have around 20, which speaks to his consistency. He also has some of the best movement I've seen out of an AWPer too. He isn't as explosive as some of the other AWPers in the game, and therefore is in the second spot. The best AWPer in the world right now goes to Guardian. A true master of the gun, he didn't skip a beat after the most recent nerf. In fact, his form has risen from star level to superstar level in a matter of months. In any AWP duel, you just have to go with Guardian. He checks off every category with flying colors. Accuracy, speed, consistency, movement, explosiveness, you name it. He is in the top 2 or 3 in every rankable category. He has recently put Na'Vi on his back and pulled him to several titles. The best in the world, it's Guardian. Hope you enjoyed this video, put your opinions in the comments section below, and subscribe.